This has been a really fun review. I've got some of the best sliding bow sights that have came out in the last 2 years. I say that because some of these came out the year previously and some of them just came out this year. It's taken me a really long time to do this review. I really wanted to test each one and put it through the paces. There's a couple that I've hunted with more than others, but as far as the functionality, the features of them, I really wanted to do a thorough review and really try each one of these before I gave my final thoughts on each one and picked a winner that I'll be using this season. You've got to be really picky to find some of the things that you don't like with these bow sights. All of these are going to work really great for you. They're all great bow sights. All of them have first, second, and third axis adjustments. Some of them might be locked together, so if you did add an aftermarket sight or scope to them, it might not work as well. But they're all great, and you got to be really picky to find something that's wrong with each one of these. So going through each one here, I've got the Axcel Driver, the Ultra View Slider 2, the Spot Hogg Boonie, HHA Nytrx Pro, and the dialed Pruf. I have all of these in a 3-pin horizontal setup, so that way they all are very comparable. So for prices, they're all Picatinny. That way I can be as accurate as I can across the board for weights and also comparing each sight. So let's get into it. First, let's talk about the weight of the bow sights. Weight has been a big thing that a lot of these sites have focused on. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the difference of weights, and I'll rank them for the lightest to the heaviest here. Go ahead and weigh each one. First up is the Axcel Driver. Which is 9.1 ounces. Next up is the UV Slider 2, which is 9.3 ounces. The Spot Hogg Boonie, the Nytrx Pro, and the dialed Pruf. Alright, so there you have the weights of these bow sights. The Driver is the lightest, and then you have the Spot Hogg Boonie, which is the heaviest. So a little bit of a difference in there, but an ounce is not too much. But then you go to the heaviest, so there's about 4 ounces difference roughly in there. So there is a little bit of a difference in the weight. Now let's talk about the cost of each one of these sights. So you have the Spot Hogg Boonie, which is about $445. And then you have the Nytrx Pro, which is about $450. You have the Axcel Driver, which is about $500. You have the UV Slider 2, which is about $550. And then the dialed Pruf, which is $589. So definitely a little bit of price difference in between there on each one of these bow sights. There are different options which are cheaper or a little bit more expensive, and you could probably find them for a little bit of a deal somewhere else. This is just going off of Lancaster Archery, just their prices, so that way everything's across the board equal using the same thing. So if price is an option, you got your cheapest one here and your most expensive one over here, and in the middle is the Axcel Driver. Okay, now I'm just going to go through each one of these bow sights, what I like and don't like about each one. And I did do my own test on all of these bow sights and came out with a winner on that. I'll go through each one of those details, how they scored here in just a little bit, but I'm going to run through each sight real quick, and then I'll go over the final scoring sheet and which one I picked. So we'll start off with the Spot Hogg Boonie. This is really great. They added the first axis adjustment, which most of them did not have that before. You can switch out different scope housings with this one and still be able to adjust it for aftermarket scope housings that might not come stock with the Boonie. So like I said, you got your first axis adjustment, which is right here, 2 screws. Pretty easy to move. You can kind of loosen and tighten one to get it about right. The second axis adjustment is on the rail itself. And then for your third axis, you have these 2 screws here. And if you do run the 3-pin housing, it is going to be really tight for you to get in here with an actual Allen wrench. So you're going to need a stubby Allen wrench, which somebody has mentioned before. So that is one downside of the sight with the 3-pin housing. Yes, you could move that down and get a little bit more room, but you're probably going to want it closer to the middle to run it here. You have micro adjust windage, which is really nice. The only downside of this sight is it is pretty heavy, and you have the sight. The sight tape is on the outside, which I personally have just gotten used to looking to the inside. It's not that big deal if you're used to it, but if you're used to looking on the inside, it is a downside of the sight. It's still going to function really great. Very dependable bow sight. Just a little heavier than the others, but if you are looking for something that you don't have to worry about breaking or just being bomb proof, this is the sight for you. So just a quick overview of some things there. Let's move on to the UltraView Slider 2. And they really upgraded this one compared to the first one. Definitely a lot simpler is the easiest way I would put it. So it's really streamlined, and for a laid out of a bow sight, this is about as good as it gets. It's really easy when you come to grab the wheel. It's right there, one-handed, easy movement. You have this sight tape on the inside, and you can also run another one on the outside too, so you have dual sight tapes. So if you're used to looking on the inside or outside, you can run both of those, which is a really great feature. They do have some extra lights, or the accessories that they make. Easy to switch different pin options, so if you like 3 pins, vertical pins, horizontal, you can easily switch out these cartridges and not have to worry about re-leveling your sight. So that's another good feature. It's really smooth like the first one, probably the smoothest out of all of these, just really smooth. One downside is the pins just aren't as bright, and like UltraView, some of their stuff is a little bit more expensive. I mean, $100 for a sight light is pretty pricey in my opinion, so that's the downside of that sight. Still have first, second, and third axis adjustments. And one thing I will mention is your first and second are locked together, so it's going to be a lot more difficult to run other manufacturers' sight houses on this and get it leveled. Okay, moving to the Nytrx Pro. Great sight, same as Spot Hogg. They finally added that first axis adjustment, so you have first, second, and third. It's a little bit tougher to get this one set up perfect because everything is loosen and tighten, so there's no micro adjust on your leveling, so it takes a little bit longer to get it set up. It's the only downside. I do like the stops on this, so you can raise it up and down and level, so if you do move it up and down, you don't have to worry about re-leveling your sight. Third axis is good. It does have the sunshade, but in my opinion, it's a little bit tougher than the other sunshades on the other sides to move. So that is one downside of it, and it is a little bit heavier as well. And like I said, just takes a little bit longer to get set up, but still a great bow sight. Going on to the dialed Pruf. I've probably actually used this one the most out of all of them. I'm just going to be honest with you on that. I like that you can run dual sight tapes, which is really nice on this sight. The lock is in a great location as well. Easy to move. You can actually adjust this too and leave it, so it does stay locked pretty well. Huge upgrade from the Axcel bow sight, so I definitely want to give them definitely want to applaud them for that. They did a great job updating this sight. Came in a pretty good weight. It's got a great sight picture. You can actually get about 5 more yards out of this bow sight, so it is actually a little bit legit that you can get the more yardage out of this sight. It does have a smaller housing, so that could be a little bit of it too before it hits your arrow. First, second, third axis adjustments. They also offer their own scope housing, so it's easy to switch them on and off of that. Really not many downsides to the site. They've kind of covered everything. They've got a lot of features going on in it. So great boat site. The Axcel Driver. So this one is really lightweight. Some of it's a little bit different on it and a little odd, whereas you have your windage that's over here, but it's micro adjust. One thing that I really like about their scope housings is the micro adjust pins. To me, that is just a really great feature, and it's easy to adjust them, easy to move it up and down. You can also adjust the lock, and once it's all the way down, it is locked, but you could leave it cracked just a little bit, and it is hard to move. So you could leave that, but so that way you could slide it. You only get one side tape here on the inside, so nothing on this outside rail. Just functions really well. Everything is pretty much micro adjust. Besides your third axis adjustment, you do have to rock that forward and backwards to get it set just right, and then tighten these two screws. Easy to use their own scope housings, and just take off that one screw, put the new one on, and you should be pretty much good to go. They did add a lot of features to this site. One thing that I like that they added is, so you, on the 3 indicators, you have more movement on them, so that way you can get them to your exact points, and you have 3 of them now. So that was a big upgrade to this as well, but pretty much the whole site got an overhaul from the land side. All right, now I'm going to go over the testing and the numbers I gave to each one and which one I found to be a winner. Also, with the Axcel Driver, one thing I want to mention is the first and second axis are locked together. So the UV slider and the Axcel Driver both have that. It's easier to set up, and I do think for the home person that maybe might go to a local shop, they slap their side on there and that's all that it is. It's nice that those are preset, so that way when you're sliding down, it's going to match each other and they're parallel or perpendicular to each other. So that way, if you're sliding down, it's sliding straight down rather than coming in at an angle and you're going to miss left and right. So for the average user, I do think that that is a benefit to them, especially if you're not leveling the site yourself or having a pro shop that's really good to do it for you. On to features. So I gave the Axcel Driver a 5 for features, and then the Hogg Boonie a 3, the Nytrx a 3, the Driver a 4, and also the slider a 4. The nice thing, the only reason why the Driver is a little bit better, everything is micro adjust, easy to lock in and out, and you also have the micro adjust pins, which I thought was really good. So now to pick a winner, I'll go through what each one of these scored. So the Driver is 23, the Boonie is 19, and these are out of 25. The HHA is 18, the Pruf is 23, and the UV slider 2 is a 20. So the top 2 are the Axcel Driver and the dialed Pruf. Both of those sites are really great. I have shot them several times, and I go back and forth on each one of them. They're both really great. You are not going to go wrong with either one of them. But what I am going to choose as a winner is the Axcel Driver. That's what I'm going to be using on the hunt this year. I have not hunted with it as much because I just got it later on. And I'm taking it on my first hunt here out west, so we will see how it holds up, and if it breaks, I will do another video saying that this site sucks. But for right now, that is the one that I'm picking and using. One thing I will mention with it is it does kind of move back and forth on your bow a little bit. So I'm kind of a little wary about that, but we'll see how it holds up. They're a great company, so I'm sure it'll be fine and everything will last just fine. But that is where I'm at with these sites right now. And if I had to pick one, it would be the Axcel Driver. Thank you so much for watching this video, especially if you made it to the end. If you found this to be helpful, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me reach more people. As always, good luck out there and stay hidden.